I say all that to say what it really boils down to is people having to have the moral fortitude, you know what I mean, to say that when I'm in a position of power, I'm not going to use my power to try to coerce somebody, man or woman, to do these sexual things for me in order for them to advance, right?
Willie D Live.
Well, again, I'm just trying to get to helping other people. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I do. You know, my whole thing is like, because somebody else got us that same story. And they probably want to say something, but they ain't going to say nothing because, you know, usually like when it come to a bully, you know how many times the bully has bullied the block and everybody was scared, nobody said anything, you know, everybody was terrorized. And the first time somebody knocked him out, everybody, wait a minute, so he not invincible. So wait a minute, so he can't hurt me like I thought he could. Oh, well, Dee-1 just dropped him, you know what I'm saying? You know what, let me get my lick back in, you know, let me get my lick in. That's how it goes, and that's why when I was growing up, people thought I was on drugs because I would fight anybody. Like, I would fight, I was like, I spent most of my time as a teenager like, you know, I was like maybe 160 pounds, 150 pounds. But I would routinely knock out 200-pound plus dudes. Routinely. Didn't matter how big they were, size, nothing.
What y'all was fighting over?
Nothing. You know, a lot of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like most people fight over a lot of nothing. Things that could easily have been avoided. A lot of times it's a pissing contest, right? You know, it's somebody just trying to impose their will on you. Right? You at the basketball court, somebody walks up and just want to grab the ball and start shooting the ball. Somebody who's not even in the game, just want to grab the ball and interrupt the game.
Oh, that, yeah.
Because they can, you know. It's a lot of bullies all over America, right? It's bullies. Like if you go in the workplace, right now there's a lot of people listening to me right now can attest to that. They're in the workplace, and they're in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, and they're being bullied on the job right now. But they deal with it because they have bills to pay. Okay.
So I gotta. All right. So I am gonna bring this up. Then this is a good point. All right. If two adults are over 18 years old, right, and if it's something to where there's people every day, men in the music industry and in life who are forcing themselves on women and who are basically saying, yo, I have a promotion that I'm going to hold over your head, but I want a sexual favor in return or something like that. Is that any different than a man who tries to do that same thing towards another man? Is that any different?
It's not any different at all.
All right. So that being said, is it illegal?
I think...
or is it immoral? That's the... Because I'm going somewhere with this.
Well, we know we're going to start off with immoral.
It's immoral, yeah. It's whack, it's lame, yeah.
That's a weak way to get a piece.
Right. If they don't force themselves on that person and actually take that sexual favor that they're seeking from that person, if they just like put it out there that they would like this in exchange for that, the part about is that illegal, and if they don't do it in a way to where they're like now harassing that person, you know, for it, where I'm going with it is, like, I don't know, is that illegal or not?
I think if it's just,
if it's just two adults,
if it's just two adults, and I think that could easily, you know, depend on the. I think it maybe it has more to do with like company policy.
Okay.
Than legalities, right?
All right, there you go. So, you know, the music industry is the wild, wild west, to where it's like it don't be no company policy because cats don't work for no company and they're independent contractors and entrepreneurs. So I say all that to say what it really boils down to is people having to have the moral fortitude, you know what I mean, to say that when I'm in a position of power, I'm not going to use my power to try to coerce somebody, man or woman, to do these sexual things for me in order for them to advance, right? Like, it might not be something that's gonna get you in jail if you proposition. I don't think what dude proposition to me was illegal, but it was just immoral, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it took for me to have the moral fortitude, to have Papa, to have my daddy, to have people that done raised me to where it's like, we not getting down like that, brother. Like, ain't no amount of success or elevation worth my manhood, right? It takes for us to have an elevated level of like moral integrity that we hold ourselves to not fall for it and to not be that desperate. But ultimately, it takes for us to have some people in power who don't abuse their power in those type of ways.